everybody, thank you for watching. So today's video is going to be makeup that I regret not buying. So this is going to be makeup that I decided not to purchase and then I have had regrets about it, either because I still see people using it all the time and talking about just how much they loved it, or it truly was a product that I wanted to get and I missed it, like it sold out too fast, you know, just that sort of thing. But the makeup products that I still think about and think, man, I wish I would have gotten that. This video was really requested since I did the first one kind of like this in the regret series, I think I might call it, but I did a makeup I don't regret not buying. And there was a request to do makeup that I regret not buying. So I thought it would be a lot of fun to do. I had a couple items pop in my head right away, but this was actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be to come up with a list, because of course I'm going to try to talk about like discontinued makeup, out of stock makeup, makeup that's we know is not coming back or probably is not coming back or is out of stock right now for the near future. And it was kind of harder than I thought it was going to be because there's a lot of makeup out there that I regret not buying right now, but I still have the opportunity to buy it. It's still for sale and that sort of thing. So this one was actually a little bit trickier than I originally thought it was going to be, but I hope that you guys still like it and like what I came up with. It is going to be all eyeshadow palettes that I'm talking about. As I was going through this list, I was like, there really is all eyeshadow palettes on here that I regret not buying, so I just thought that was kind of funny. But I had a few other items that I could put in, but once I realized majority were eyeshadow palettes, I thought let's just do all eyeshadow palettes. But if you'd want to see like a round 2 of makeup that I regret not buying, like I have highlights and lipsticks and things like that on my list, let me know in the comments down below because I can definitely do another one. Of course, this video is like all in good fun. You know, I don't think I've shed any tears over not being able to buy any of this. Like I haven't lost sleep. It hasn't impacted my life, you know, so seriously that I wasn't able to buy this. So please don't take this video too seriously. It's just supposed to be a fun one. And we get to chat about makeup, which is my favorite type of video to make. But if you would like to see the makeup that I regret not buying, let's go ahead and get started. So the first one that I want to talk about is a YouTuber collaboration. It was when KathleenLights teamed up with Morphe brushes and released an eyeshadow palette. I was so excited about this palette and I was like, I'm definitely buying this one, like for sure. I love Kathleen. She's one of my favorite YouTubers and I really enjoy Morphe. I have a lot of their eyeshadow palettes. I was like, this is going to be perfect. The eyeshadow palette definitely caught my eye with the browns and some neutrals in there, but there was a cool pop of green. There was a black in there. There was like kind of like this mustardy looking color, which I really enjoy. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna, like, I need this. And it sold out in like 30 minutes. It went really, really fast. I don't even think I made it to my computer on time before it had sold out. And I was like, what? It was crazy. It went so fast. I know that they brought it back, but it sold out again. And I'm not sure. I remember even thinking to myself like, oh no, once I saw the date that it was coming back, I was like, I know that I'm not going to be able to be on my computer or on a phone at that time. Maybe it won't sell out as fast, and it still sold out super quick, so I wasn't able to get it. It's not for sale right now. I don't know if it's going to come back again because they brought it back once. I'm not sure if they'll bring it back again, but I was really bummed that I missed this one, and I know a lot of people say that they really like it, and I see some really pretty makeup looks with it, so yeah, this one, that was a regret for me. I wish I could have got that one. So another one that I have from Morphe is more recent releases from them. It was their 25A and 25B palette. And I really was interested in both of these palettes. Like I was like, I don't even want to make a decision between the two. Like I just want them both. And I was so bummed because the day that they released, I want to say it was like the day after Christmas. I remember being out of town and they were gonna go live at like noon or something, and I'm thinking to myself, I know that we are going to be driving in the car driving back to Des Moines, and the way that we take, there is no reception for a long time. You can only get one bar on your phone. Like it just does not work out. So I knew it was gonna happen, and of course it did. We were driving at the time that they released, and we get home and I run into my office, I pull up my laptop and I get on the website and they're both sold out. I was like, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen. And then they came back in stock, and I remember getting told, like someone sent me a Snapchat or something and was like, hey, the palettes are back in stock. So I went onto the Morphe website to look, but only one of them was back in stock. So I don't know if like the one just sold out quicker than the other one did, but So I see that the one is in stock. I believe it was the 25A. So I put it in my cart, and then I start going through the Morphe page and I was adding in like brushes, and I was just trying so hard to hit that $100 mark because free shipping just means a lot to me. I don't know why, you guys. It's like a serious problem. I don't know. Like those memes that are like, you'll spend $60 more to get the free shipping instead of just buying like the $10 item that you originally wanted. Like it doesn't really make sense in the end, but it's what's important to me. But I'm going through, I'm adding more things, I'm adding brushes, their makeup sponge was available and I was so excited about that. I remember putting eyelashes in the cart, and then by the time I got there, it was sold out. I'm like, this has to be a joke, right? Like, this has to be a joke. So that's over with. So I didn't get the 25A and the 25B palettes from Morphe. I tried both times, I was late both times. It's really frustrating, definitely, when makeup sells out this fast, like this quickly, because I don't want to set an alarm to buy makeup. I don't want to. I have done it. I've done it, but I don't want to do it. It just makes me feel a little weirded out, you know? Like, I'm a makeup lover, and obviously I have a passion about it. I turned it into a YouTube channel, but still sometimes it makes me uncomfortable that I have to set an alarm to get a makeup product and be on my phone or be on my computer, credit card ready, like have the rest of my bag ready. It just like makes me feel weird. So I definitely needed to do it for those palettes. I still see really good things about them, but I didn't get them and I'm bummed about it. Who knows? It might come back again, but I think at this point, after trying to get them 2 times, I'm like, okay, we're just not meant to be together, apparently. But yeah, I definitely regretted not getting them, especially the first time around. They looked so beautiful. So another eyeshadow palette that was in collaboration with a beauty YouTuber. This was a collaboration with Itsee Cosmetics and Michelle from ReadySetGlamour. They came out with a 4-pan eyeshadow palette collection, and she called it like the Squadquad, I believe is what it was called. And the shades looked really beautiful. There was like a really cool yellow in there, and the matte shades looked really beautiful. There was a shimmer in there too. And I'll be honest, like when I saw the Squadquad come out, I was like, oh yes, it looks so pretty, you know, like I really like it. Was I like, oh my gosh, these shades I absolutely have to have because I don't have them? No, except for the yellow. Like the yellow really was very eye-catching to me, but the actual palette like didn't make me like lose my mind or go gaga. But I was really excited to support Michelle from ReadySetGlamour. Like that was kind of like the main reason why I thought I would get the palette. And I ended up not getting it, and to be like, I'm gonna be really honest with you guys, I don't really remember why I ended up not going for it. I remember thinking that it was a little bit more expensive than what I thought it should have been, and I can't remember the price right now, but I remember thinking like, that's kind of high for 4 eyeshadows, right? I can recall thinking that, and I think maybe that kind of like made me back off, and I'm bummed that I didn't do it. And like now it's definitely a regret for me even more, because where is Michelle? I'm actually like really bummed. When I was thinking about this video and what I was gonna say, the palette did pop into my mind, because I was like, oh yeah, I remember I really wanted to get that palette and I kind of passed over it, you know, thought it was too much money, whatever. I'm like, I kind of wish that I had gotten it, because is she coming back? And I'm really like asking this question to you guys if anybody knows. And I actually talked about it on my Snapchat one day. This was a while ago, but I was like, has anybody seen any updates from Michelle at ReadySetGlamour? Like, I used to love watching her videos. I just thought she was very like relatable, and she liked to talk about a lot of makeup, but she had really good tutorials at the same time. Like, I just was really drawn to her channel. I was really excited for her collaboration. And I kind of wish that I would have gotten it now, even though I don't know if she's even around anymore, but it kind of really bums me out. I saw that she posted something on her Instagram back in February saying like she's okay and she just needed a break from social media, but I want to say her last YouTube video was in like November or December or sometime, like it was a while ago. Like I totally understand taking breaks, and that's definitely like needed, but usually people take like a couple weeks maybe, but it's been like several months now, and I don't like her Instagram post. When I read it, it didn't make it sound like she was coming back anytime soon, so that really bummed me out. So yeah, I wanted to mention that one too, because it did pop into my mind when I was thinking about makeup that I regretted not buying, but then also because I just wonder if she's coming back or if anybody knows anything else, and I would love to know. But yeah, I was bummed that I didn't get the collab, and And now I'm bummed that she appears to be gone, so there's that one. I have a couple here from Anastasia Beverly Hills that I regretted not buying, and one is the Master Palette by Mario. I didn't get this one mostly because I had bought an Anastasia single shadows and just like really didn't like them. I actually talked about them in like my top 5 best and worst eyeshadow palettes. I mentioned Anastasia singles and like how I didn't like them, and I said in the video it actually deterred me from buying the Modern Renaissance palette because I didn't like the single shadows. So I was like, why would I buy a whole palette if I didn't like really love the eyeshadows? I ended up purchasing the Modern Renaissance palette, thankfully, and I really enjoy it, but I didn't buy the Mario palette either because I was like, I don't know, I don't really like the single shadows. Like, I'm not gonna go out and buy this palette. And honestly, like, I tried not to buy a ton of limited edition, but it's definitely not always the case. I do buy limited edition, but I was like, oh, you know, I don't really like the single shadows, even if it's limited edition, like, whatever, I don't need it. I think it was a little bit more expensive. Like, I think they like knocked the price up like $2 or $3 because of the collaboration. And so I was like, nah, I don't need it. And I get frustrated because I still see people using this palette. I still see people talking about this. I've been watching more of like best and worst eyeshadow palette videos too since I did my video, and I'm seeing like now it's coming up in my like recommended on YouTube, like, oh, watch this too. And so many people are mentioning this palette. I'm like, dang it, I didn't get it. But that's okay. I was able to get the Modern Renaissance palette, of course, because that one was not limited edition or discontinued or whatnot. It came back in stock and I was finally able to get it, but I'm still kind of salty that I didn't get that palette. Another palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills that I'm bummed I didn't get is the World Traveler palette. And this is one basically solely because when I first like really started watching YouTube, before I even made my channel, and I was just like starting to like religiously watch beauty YouTube videos, so many people would talk about this World Traveler palette and they would use it. I saw it in favorites videos. I did not know who Anastasia Beverly Hills was at the time I started my YouTube channel. I am very, very, very new to makeup. I did not know much before I started watching YouTube. I feel like I didn't really know like anything before I started watching YouTube. I didn't know much before I started my channel. I just thought like, hey, why not? Let's go with it. So I wasn't familiar with the brand. I didn't know who she was or like understand what a powerhouse she was in the makeup world, but I would just see this palette constantly mentioned, and I'm like, I need that. I think I need that in my life. I didn't buy it because I wasn't buying a lot of like high-end makeup products, and especially eyeshadow palettes at that time. I think I had like maybe a Wet n Wild eyeshadow trio and then maybe like some Maybelline shadows or something, and I was like, perfect, I'm good to go. I didn't know how to apply eyeshadow. I didn't have blending brushes. I was like, why am I gonna go out and spend all this money on this big old eyeshadow palette with shades in there that I don't know what to do with and I don't know how to apply them? So I ended up not buying it, and that's mostly for the reason was I was too new to makeup at the time. I didn't understand what I would do with this eyeshadow palette, and I didn't get it. But I still really do hear people talk about this palette even still. Not as much as when I first started watching the videos, which was, you know, this is probably like 3 years ago maybe when I started watching the YouTube videos, so I don't hear people talk about it as much anymore, but it's always something that's kind of like at the back of my mind. Like, remember when you almost bought the World Traveler palette just because you heard a lot of people talk about it? Like, that could have been one of like the original YouTube made me buy it. Before I even knew how to do makeup, I was gonna buy the World Traveler palette. But yeah, that's definitely another one. I'd love to know if any of you guys have this palette because I feel like I still hear a lot of people say really good things about it, so I'd love to know if you have it. I actually have 2 eyeshadow palettes here from Dose of Colors. One is their EyeScream palette, and I was so frustrated with myself that I did not get this eyeshadow palette. I've always said like, oh, you know, I'm not an eyeshadow palette junkie, blah, blah, blah. I truly still like kind of do stand by that because there's so many times where I didn't buy an eyeshadow palette because I was like, I don't need it. I can't justify this. Sometimes I can't justify the price. You know, sometimes I can't justify, I have something like that in my collection, so I can't get this one. And I feel like if you're an eyeshadow palette junkie, you're like, that's not a big deal. I still need it. Because I'm a lipstick addict and a lipstick junkie, it does not matter that I have 54 nude liquid lipsticks. If another one comes up and I see it, I'm like, I have to have that one because it's different. Totally different. Like, I'm that way with lipsticks. So when I'm saying I'm not an eyeshadow palette junkie, that's kind of what I mean, because I've talked myself out of a lot of eyeshadow palettes that I really did like. Sometimes it's based on price or, you know, I was on a no buy or, you know, things like that. But a lot of times it's me just being like, you don't need it. you don't need a girlfriend, don't do it. And the EyeScream palette was really one of those because it was just like, and it sounds weird, but it was just such a more unique palette that I was like, am I really going to be able to use that a lot? Am I going to be able to get a lot of use out of it? Because there's like these crazy greens and this like purple, and at the same time there's still browns and like shimmers in there, but I'm like most attracted to those weird colors for whatever reason, I don't know. I'm most attracted to those colors, and I'm like, I don't know, would I be able to get enough use out of this thing? It was more expensive. I can't remember the price again, but I remember it being more expensive. I'd never bought from Dosa Colors. I was like, I just don't know if I can do it. And then I was so bummed, and I saw so many people doing the tutorials with it, and they like make such bomb looks, and I was so jealous that I didn't get it, but I didn't. I still kind of regret this one. Like I still really wish that I had this one, especially because I'm also an ice cream addict. So it just would have made sense, but I didn't do it. I didn't get this one. Another eyeshadow palette from Dose of Colors that I totally regret not buying is their Hidden Treasures eyeshadow palette. This palette looked so cool to me. I remember seeing the YouTube videos of people using it and talking about it, and like the PR samples that were sent out, people getting it. I was like, oh my gosh, it looks so cool. Like it looked like a treasure map, and it had all of these really cool, like unique type of eyeshadow shades in there. I was like, I totally have to get this one. Now, I did not buy this one because this was before I understood that makeup would sell out. When I first started watching YouTube videos and getting into them, I did not understand that concept, that I couldn't just see something I really liked and be like, I'm going to get that one day. That does not work in the makeup world, especially for really hot releases. You can't even wait a day and get them. Like in my mind, I was like, maybe I'll get that next month after I get my check from Amazon for selling books. No, you will not get that next month because it's going to sell out in one day. Sometimes it's going to sell out in 1 hour. Like, you're not going to get that next month. I did not understand that that was a thing when I first started watching the YouTube videos, and I quickly learned that that happened. It was with the Hidden Treasures palette that I realized that they would just go away and they would not come back, and I was very devastated about it. So that was really the biggest reason why I didn't buy it, because I just thought, yeah, I'll buy it when I'm ready to buy it. And it was gone, and I did not get to buy it. So did anyone else not realize that when you first started in the makeup game? Because like, I'm coming from the book world. If you don't know, I'm an author. I'm coming from the book world into the beauty world, and that was never even a thought of mine, that like makeup will just sell out and it won't come back and like whatever, because like my book will not be for sale. I want you to buy my book. I want you to read my book. I want you to talk about my book. But all this makeup just disappears and goes away. I'm like, how does that make sense? It honestly is still something that like really surprises me, especially when I see, this is usually like YouTuber collaborations, but even sometimes just makeup companies in general, they'll be like, these are gonna sell out. Why the hell is that a good thing? Like, I don't understand that that's what people are pushing for. Like, hope we sell out. Why? Why don't you want people to have your products? I don't get it. Like, it honestly confuses me. But now I know. But I remember, I can vividly recall the Hidden Treasures palette being one of them that I thought to myself, oh, I'll just get this later. And then it was gone. So the last palette that I want to talk about is from Violet Voss. It is their Holy Grail eyeshadow palette, and I'm bummed about this one. I feel like I've been talking about Violet Voss more and more. I believe I mentioned them in the 7 brands that I want to try in 2017 video. They are just definitely a brand that is on my radar right now, and I'm really interested in buying something from them, especially an eyeshadow palette, because I do hear really good things about them. I saw the Holy Grail being used so much, and I would see it constantly being referred to in YouTube videos, and I'm really bummed that I missed it. I'm not sure if they're going to bring it back, because I think they brought it back at some point. So maybe they'll bring it back in the future. And who knows, makeup companies can do what they want to do. A lot of times brands say something is like, once it's out of stock, it's gone. And then a week later, they're like, just kidding, it's back. So we never like truly know. But I feel like if the Holy Grail were to come back in stock, I really would want to purchase this one, because it always has been more eye-catching to me. I know that they just released the Ride or Die palette, which I think is out of stock at this time as well. But that palette was like ginormous, and I think it was more like $75. I mentioned it in a Will I Buy It video, and like all of you talked me out of that palette. There was so many comments in there like, you do not need this, girlfriend, don't do it. And I was like, thank you guys. The Holy Grail palette is $45, so that's definitely a lot better, and it's just, you know, a smaller more manageable type of palette. So I think if this one were to come back in stock, like I would totally hop on it. But one was always a regret of mine too. I just wish that I kind of like tried Violet Voss sooner and that I was able to have the Holy Grail in my collection. But in the beginning of the video, I don't think I've, you know, shed any tears over not getting these eyeshadow palettes. I don't think that I've lost any sleep over them. That one was another one that I thought, oh man, I do regret not buying that, huh? And that one is going to be the last one that I'm talking about for my makeup that I regret not buying video. Alright guys, so that is going to be everything for my makeup that I regret not buying video. Thank you guys so much for requesting this video and I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of the eyeshadow palettes that I mentioned. Do you regret not buying any of them either? Did you buy them and now you regret buying them? I would love to know, or just let me know in the comments down below what are some other makeup items that you regret not picking up for yourself as well. I would love to know as always. But if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe before you go. I do have a big 15K giveaway going on right now, so I'll leave that in the comments down below. But don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I'll just catch you guys real soon in my next one. Bye.